welcome to OZTV. Here we talk about everything that you need to know. We talk about family, we talk about relationships, we talk about children, homes. We talk about virtually everything. So I want you to subscribe, like, comment, click on the notification bell for more videos coming up, and watch out for a new show coming up called Spit It All. Thank you.
Whether it extends there, because at the initial time nobody wants to begin to suffer. Even your parents at that time saying that he's a graduate, and the first question that will ask you if nothing is moving is, why can't he go and look for a job? And you say, he has tried everything. You can say then look for business or something to do. You still fall back to business. So once the man is secure financially to take care of you, and that man loves you, and that man gives you attention, he cares for you, you see that a master degree holder will want to go for it. Why? Because he doesn't want to give birth to children that will suffer. So there are things that the master degree holder looks in the scale of preference. Is this person honest? Is this person financially okay? Is this person this? Is that person that? Is that person this? You see, you begin to find out that even a doctorate degree holder would answer Dr. Mrs. So and so, but the husband did not break job.
Well, don't you? Don't you think that in these times, a lot of business people, like what is going on now with a lot of people that are delving into businesses that are shady, basically.
For one life.
Yeah. Yes, just you're calling it the way it is. Doing things they're not supposed to do just to make ends meet, because they know that is the thing that the women are looking out for. Because they now know that women are not after men that are career driven, they just want successful.
Successful, yes.
You understand? So don't you think that people are now, this kind of quest for success is making them, deviate from the actual thing that they're supposed to do? Because normally business is one thing, but the quest for success is another. And most times women are not particular about the kind of, sometimes when you come to them, they ask you, what do? You say you're a business person. They would not go further to know what kind of business you are involved in. They just want to, they believe that you're doing something productive, that you're making the money. So they just want to be attached to that success because they don't want to suffer.
Okay. I'm going to tell the audience, especially young ladies that are looking at planning to go into their home. When a man tells you, I do business, let him detail the business. What do you do in detail? Okay. If you're selling babies, tell me you're selling babies, not just.
And let them see.
And let me see what that thing you're doing.
But don't sell babies.
When I mean selling babies, I mean
I don't mean that.
Yeah.
Going out the disclaimer in case anybody is.
Yeah. So I mean selling babies, baby clothes,
Baby outfit,
clothing. So not like selling babies. So okay. If you're doing that, they have to be detailed with what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They don't just come out and tell you, I'm doing this, and you just take it, hook, line, and sinker, and get sing, and all that. No. Mm-hmm. But let me tell you, you see, in this time, because people's eyes are opening every day. Mm-hmm. That's why you see even women, their eyes are now up that they even marry their own boys or 419 you're talking about. Because they are seeing that carrot at that time. Nobody wants to start off their life with you suffering. That's the truth. Nobody wants to start off their life with you suffering. In as much as a woman will tell you, I just love you the way they are, the way you are, I love this and I love that, blah 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 blah. Let me tell you something, it gets to a point in a woman's life when she's pregnant and she gives birth, you couldn't pay her hospital bill. You will know whether there is annoyance or anointing in her. When she comes back home,
Stainless Styles is a fashion brand centered in making you look elegant, yet catering to your fashion needs. For more inquiry call 0902462278 or send a mail to stainlessstylesforyou@gmail.com.
And there is no food to give to those children, both of you sat down and said you plan to give birth to, you will know whether there is annoyance or anointing in her. See, let me tell you, a woman can be very nice and show you all the love, but let me tell you, the one problem each home has is when it comes to a man taking up his responsibilities as a man and is not able to take up those responsibilities. A woman most of the time tend to get annoyed about it. So that's why you see every young girl in boat is looking up. But let me tell you, on the other hand, we must not always look at a man that he has money before you go. Your hands, you're not crippled. Why don't you become productive? Start doing something. Help yourself so that you will not always focus your mind or judgment on that money thing. Money is good in marriage, but so that you will not focus your mind so much on it. And you know that you can be able to provide for yourself to an extent. On the other hand, there's a point I want to touch. Why it looks as if some ladies don't always go for this only love thing at times is there are men who tend to be very lazy. The moment you take up their responsibilities for them, they tend to go and sleep now, begin to rest.
And push everything
to you. So when a woman sees that she's beginning to struggle about that thing, you see that lioness in her starts coming out. You understand? It will begin to come out. So that's why in summary, men will say, women, they have their eyes so much on money. Why? No. What they're actually looking for is a man that will take up their responsibility as the man. If you're able to do that, let me tell you, except if the woman is a devil, every woman that you take up as your responsibility, do the things you're supposed to do at home, is supposed to worship you as the Lord. But the moment you're not doing it, if a woman carries a burden for too long, it tends to show on her. Nobody needs to tell you. That's when you will demand for chicken, she will tell you if you won't eat that fish, you don't get there. You want to bed. There are women who get to that street.
But do you think there are some, you want to say something?
I do want to say something real quick. So there's a couple of kind of thought processes, because I agree with a lot of what you said, in terms of just the relationship and so on. But let me say this. Sometimes I hate to use Nigeria as an example, but we're in Nigeria, so we almost have no choice. We're a victim of our circumstances here in this country. And unfortunately, those circumstances have worked against us when it comes to marriages and our relationships, even in the dating process and so on and so forth. I feel like women find themselves in a certain position, and men find themselves in a certain position also, and we're dealing with it as we move along. Part of it is because of a lack of opportunities, a lack of options, a lack of, if you want to be comfortable, then this is what needs to happen in order for there to be comfort. I always take the stance that marriage must always be a partnership. What that means is that, because the reality is that you can marry a rich man. I'm not saying, somebody should just go for someone who is dirt poor. I'm not saying that. You can marry a rich man though, and sickness happens, life happens, things happen. He loses his wealth.
Yeah.
Life is a long time though. When you get married and you're 25, 30, 35, 40 years old, and you're planning to be alive until you're 80, 100 years old, a whole bunch of things can happen during those times. Yeah. And you can have a man who is a breadwinner, who has been taking care of a woman, taking care of all the things that need to happen, and then suddenly the woman finds herself in a position of having to figure out how to make ends meet. Not because the man is even lazy, although that happens a lot, but because life has happened. His business failed. He fell victim to fraud. He made a bad business decision. He's a human being. Things happen. So, even the wealthiest people today, they're worth 10 billion, tomorrow they're worth 1 billion. It's because the market moves, that life happens.
Looking for any generator, tractor, and trailer servicing parts? You are sure to get the best in durability and quality at affordable prices. For further inquiries call 0803308748 or send an email to azibesselt@gmail.com.
I think that because Nigeria is the way it is, we approach marriage a certain way. But the reality, I think, is that when we go into a marriage, we should go into a marriage realizing that we all have responsibilities in the marriage and that we all have responsibilities in the marriage. Because we go in and we're thinking, he's the man. You should pay the rent, you should build the house, you should buy the land, you should buy the cars, you should feed me, you should clothe me, the school fees, the this and that. And it's true. It's a man's responsibility. But a woman has a responsibility in that also because times have changed. The world has changed. For most people today, it's not a reality that it will be a one-income household or that the man will do everything. So in a proper partnership, there's a discussion, there's an agreement, this is how we're going to do things and so on and so forth. So I think that when it boils down to getting married and so on, the goal doesn't necessarily have to be marrying a rich man or a made man, but the goal should be marrying a man who has potential, that hopefully is not lazy, as you pointed out, but that the two of you can build and grow together and sustain something. Because if you check it very well, the happiest marriages that I've seen, and again, it's not about the woman being a breadwinner or being whatever, it's not about that, but it's about a relationship where the man feels that his woman is taking care of him, and where the woman feels like her man is taking care of her.
Yeah.
Sure. That is where the success is. But today, you find a lot of people just jumping into marriage. He's rich, oh, hey, have you seen his car? Oh my God, his friends. And that's what they jump into. 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, kids have come. Reality has set in. And yes, you have all the money in the world and you're traveling all over the place, but everybody is generally unhappy. It's because what are we all bringing to the table? Is she fulfilling his needs, whatever they are? And is he fulfilling her needs, whatever they are? And if you people are not partners going into this marriage, it's not going to work, regardless of education, regardless of background, regardless of finances, regardless of anything. If you check it as a married woman, how many times have you been in a position to be able to bail your husband out of a situation and he respected you for it, even if it was a temporary situation? And as a married woman, how many times has your husband been able to bail you out of a situation? These are so I think Nigeria, our circumstances here has really clouded what marriage is supposed to be.
Okay, I want to add something to what you just said, just to clear everything. Another thing is, in as much as we women also wants to marry, as a Nigerian women, wants to marry rich guys, that's the way several rich guys want to marry from rich families. Or ladies that are made as well.
That are comfortable, right?
They also want to marry ladies that are comfortable, that are men.
Because who wants to carry burden?
Good. So it's
Not
not,
to
it's not about it.
carry responsibility.
That's what I'm trying to say.
From jump.
That's
right.
why you see a lot of ladies right now will always tell you, I want someone at least that could do this, at least that could do that. The reason why I don't always look at, tell ladies about a man that has possessions in Nigeria, most of them I used to, or I'm planning to, I am planning to, that never plan to. You're saying a lady comes into your life, marries you because you have potentials. 3 years, 5 years down the line, you're still planning to. And she begins to somehow struggle with that. You're planning to do a particular thing, and she's asking you, but don't you see this? Don't you see that? Okay, I give instance sometime. As a man that said he wants to travel out of the country to go and play ball. You understand me? He keep planning and planning and planning. Till today, he has not traveled to play that ball. And you cannot, to him, he doesn't have, any other thing he can lay his hands on to do apart from that playing of ball. He couldn't learn any skills.
But let me ask you a question though, on that same note, sorry to cut you off. Okay, fine. So he traveled to Korea or Japan or wherever it was to play the ball, and then he broke his leg. And then he's still back. That's what I'm saying. Life
I was
is
even
bigger than.
commenting.
Having skin problems or want to glow and have a flawless skin? Contact Stainless Beauty World for all your skin issues. For more inquiry call 09024622078 or send a mail to stainlessbeautyworld4you@gmail.com.
I was even coming
You
to.
know what I mean?
to
So what's
that
the
one.
plan when the
Now,
injury
if
happens and you
you,
can't
if you
play
have
anymore,
married
right?
a man from onset, he's a net man. Both of you started together. He paid your bills, like you said. You solve his own needs. Two of you are now
What is his
together.
needs though? What are his? Because here's my problem. I hear what you're saying. This is what I'm saying is the Nigerian issue. Because at the end of the day, that means there's no hope for a 25-year-old man. That means that men are not marrying in Nigeria until you're like 35. Because it takes a while for you to become accomplished enough to qualify.
Okay, I wish
to have a
I wish
wife
you
or
allow me
family.
to get to where I'm going.
Okay, let's get there. Yeah.
25 years old. I will not allow my son to get married at the age of 25 if I don't see something historic. He must have something to do.
That's because you have your mother that has.
You understand me?
purpose for-
Now, if your
have
son
options.
brings a woman and say, I want to marry this woman, has no job, the mother first of all will turn to him and say, what do you do for a living? How do you take care of her? Because you don't expect a woman from day one to start feeding you. No, you don't. Now, the area where you're going, so that we don't forget what I want to say. A man starts up with you, he's already made you, marry him, everything is going on well, and all of a sudden, the nature strikes. Knowing something happens. Any woman that steps out of that man's life later because things has gotten bad is assistant devil herself. Why? Because you know the reason. You know the reason. That man has invested in your life. And it is time for you to show him that love you preached. At that point, you need to be able to. In fact, you're not supposed to complain. I have seen a woman in that situation. Anytime you come to the husband, anything happens and you come to me, you say, no, I don't want this man to think for 1 week. This man carried me and my family. And I'm ready to sacrifice my life for him. That woman understands that this man has paid the price, he has paid the bill. That price he has paid for you is the typical and a good example for you to stand by him in his bad times. It's good enough for you to stand by him. This thing also happened to two people that live together, and at a time something bad happens. Does not mean that two of them will leave themselves. It doesn't mean that they will leave themselves. So it does not happen to only someone that does not have. Life can strike at any time, at any given time. But what I'm trying to place in all these things is, just like I said earlier, a man should have something that
My sisters, this COVID-19 palava dey real o. As we lock down for house so make una maintain good hygiene by washing una hands with soap and water every time, and add small sanitizer, and maintain social distance with people wey dey our community. As all of una families dem go dey house for almost 2 weeks, money save no too yafun like that. Work nko na for only house all of us go join dey work. My sister, as we dey this COVID-19 lockdown so help dey for you if you get any domestic violence palava for house. No come let person beat or kill you o. You fit call this number dem 0808 575 4266 0817 014 1401 0818 005 6401. Our people wey get ogbonge sense go help you for Lagos State. No come forget o, COVID-19 lockdown no be reason for domestic violence for house. But if e shele, help dey for you for this our ogbonge Lagos. Make una call this number sharp 0808 575 4266 0817 014 1401 0818 005 6401. This message na from Lagos State Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation.